after I thought of that, I thought, okay, I'm going to add a slash. So it's both revolutionary and evolutionary. Okay, now, revolutionary gives me a great chance to quote Mary, who, when she learned she was going to become the Mother of God, says, "You have cast the mighty from their thrones. You have scattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts. You have filled the poor with good things, and the rich you have sent empty away." Now that's revolution. Revolution is a big change in which the rich become poor, and the poor become rich, and the prideful become humble. And it can be done without violence, which is why one of my favorite leaders is Dr. Martin Luther King. He was able to effect enormous social change without violence. So I don't mean to invoke revolution as violence, but I think that learning is revolutionary in the sense that it can change, make drastic changes. And one of them is the idea of self-learning, that being open to learning and open to reading and open to new ideas. And these can, although a lot of it's evolutionary where it happens very slowly over time, like learning French took me 20 years, right? It can be a light bulb can come on and you can realize, I've been wrong, I'm going to change my ways. I mean, think of St. Augustine in the garden. He opens the Bible, it seems to be speaking to him. He suddenly leaves his whole life of being a drunkard and an adulterer and becomes a priest and then a bishop and then becomes a father of the church, and all because of one little thing he read. So I think that in terms of, for me, I think that the very process of learning and knowing I can still learn gives me a confidence that tells me that I can do anything, I can make any change I need to make. So if I had to leave my home and go to a new place, because of everything I've learned, I'd have the confidence to go and do that. And it reminds me of one little story. You know how you'd think the highest compliment when you see somebody from your past would be, you know, you never had enough self-confidence, girl. You had so much talent, but you didn't believe in yourself, and I believe in you. The opposite's happened to me. I ran into a girlfriend I knew from the 7th grade, and she said, you know, one thing you always had? Self-confidence. And I thought, what? I mean, in other words, even though I might not have known very much, or I had self-confidence, which was probably unmerited, but I think it's because my dad was an entrepreneur and he just had to go out there and sell even if he didn't have anything to sell. So learning is a wonderful thing, and I think the main thing it does is it gives you humility when you need it, and it gives you confidence when you need it. It sets things right. It puts justice and order into the world. For one thing, we're born alone, we're going to die alone, and no human relationship can make us feel completely part of another person. I think we're all loners in a sense. But guess what? If you read a good book, oh, you feel you're not alone anymore. There's somebody speaking to you. It is reaching your very core. You realize someone understands the same thing you do. There's a connection there, and you realize we're not alone. And that's one of the things I like about Russell Sarder's book, and that is, it's the acknowledgments list. Literally hundreds of people. The foreword, dozens of people are giving him praise. The whole book is informed by many, many people. So learning is the proof. The fact that we learn from other people, through books, etc., is the proof that we're not alone, that everything is communal, that we're part of a community. And to me, that's the highest joy, to know I'm part of a community, I'm not alone. Well, it's funny, it's kind of a small thing, but coming out of the Algonquin Hotel today, I noticed a postal chute, and I noticed a griffin facing north and a little ribbon, and I thought, oh, it's probably Latin. I'm going to go and look at the Latin inscription, because it looked very much like a crest for a university. And it was Colbert Manufacturing, Rochester, New York, patent number such and such. So that mail chute was patented by a New York manufacturing company. And it just made me feel so, who had the glory and the artistic sense to create a very crest-looking emblem of this beautiful postal chute. You should all go to the Algonquin and check it out. But what I learned is that my first perceptions are usually wrong. I assumed it was going to be in Latin. I assumed it was going to be a non-personal Latin thing, and it turns out it's this living testament to some very proud manufacturer. It's a small thing, but it shows me, and believe me, Tracy, if I weren't a lifelong learner, I would have walked right past that mail chute. I know what mail chutes are. Mail chutes are boring, and I'm doing something interesting today. No, I looked at the mail chute. I learned something new every day.